What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of From Boys to Men, where we find solutions and ways to help people that are dealing with mental health as far as men and, significant others that have questions that they need asked and answered to help them do better stuff with their men and communicate better. And, I'm your host, Terry Mr. King, and I'm here with my co-host,
Eddie Bunch, always.
Eddie Bunch is in the building, y'all. He in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a regular thing, y'all. We always gonna be in the thing, talking to y'all, trying to educate, share our experiences that we went through and our viewpoints on different scenarios, and hopefully that it can elevate and help somebody so they don't have to go through the same obstacles and like that we had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Start out with zero knowledge in life, man. You always need some guidance or a little help.
Of course, you always need. Man, I'm gonna turn your mic up a little bit, Eddie, because I ain't gonna lie. I feel like they need to hear you. They need to hear you.
Shoot. Testing? Sound good enough.
It sounds good. Let's go, baby.
All right.
Man, but today we're gonna focus mainly more on more relationships and everything. We're not just talking about significant others. We're gonna go with friendships. I feel like that's the topic that people they talk about, but they don't really go in deep about. And then family relationships and other relationships outside of that as well too. So we're gonna go deep into all that stuff. So, man, you pick. I'll let you pick where we start at.
Man, well, I say we start off with friendships because I say that's the most ambiguous kind of relationship you can have with people. Everybody got their definition of a friend. They got different requirements or different standards for who they consider friends. But I feel like anybody you surround yourself with and you feel good, that should be your friend.
Facts. All right. So, what are your requirements as far as for a friend?
Well, I wouldn't even say like you gotta have the same interests as me and anything like that. But if I could have a good time around you, I consider you a friend. I feel like a lot of the time, just hanging around people consider that's a friend. But for me personally, my definition is starting to shift. I start to look at who I am and how I feel when I'm around certain people, because when somebody got good intentions and that energy is for you, you're going to feel good about yourself and you ain't going to have no insecure thoughts, no anxiety, nothing like that. Facts. So you should always keep those kind of people in your circle.
Facts.
How about you?
My requirements for a friend, man, the biggest thing is loyalty, man. Like that's my one and only quality. And thing about it, I look back over time, like you said, over time, my definition of friendship changed so much because it's conversations that we forget to have with everybody that we consider our friends because it's just expected sometimes. So it's like, the biggest trait for me is loyalty. Like, the people that are going to talk to me in front of my face and tell me my bullshit and tell me all my flaws and not be yes man all the time. Like those people are the people that I kind of consider my friends because they got their own viewpoint on different stuff. We got some similar interests, but I don't want to have the same person like me as a friend because there's already the one me. We can have similarities, but man, if someone's just trying to be exactly like you, they're more than a mentorship or a copycat. It's more like they're trying to steal your identity versus them being their individual self. But my friendships over the years it's looked all types of ways, to be honest. It's kind of crazy, but my biggest thing is loyalty because I'm gonna be loyal to you till the day we decide this ain't gonna be a friendship anymore.
Absolutely.
So even after I just need you to come with the same thing. But it's kind of hard to find that trait in people these days, to be honest.
Man, I hate those yes men friendships because it's like, ain't nobody perfect and we all got our moments. Yeah. And if you're my friend, I'm not going to take nothing personally. You tell me, yo, that ain't it. Or, you being corny right now, you being weird or something like that, man.
Exactly.
Just being honest with each other just shows that vulnerability. And it's also holding your peoples accountable. Yeah. We got plenty of weird dudes in this world who they enable by their homeboys because they'll never tell them about themselves.
Exactly. And look, and I think it's really healthy that you can be vulnerable in front of friends. Even when coming to them crying and talking about your deepest, darkest secrets, things you're battling with, your mental health and everything. Cause look, literally, the first thing I ask my friends after I get done with the joking stuff when we first started talking on the phone, I ask them how what their mental state looking like, how they doing mentally, because we don't understand everything that they're going through because we don't see them 24/7. So we see them for that time being when they can release their stress and just goof off and be who they really want to be around us. But they dealing with a lot of stuff, and a lot of people don't ask these questions because they don't look at the signs and see that stuff. Like the one thing I'm grateful for that my friends can come and talk to me about anything is like I'm not gonna judge them, especially after everything I've been through in life. Even before that, I was a person that never gonna judge you. I'm gonna give you a clean, like perfect. Like my friends, they can come talk to me about anything, and literally, I'm coming to you from a neutral standpoint because if you're wrong, I'm gonna let you know that you're wrong. If you're right, I'm just gonna sit there and listen either way because friendships, they just like another outsource for you to vent and release things you got built up. Because sometimes friendships, they like, if you're my friend, your problems become my problems. Because I would not know what to do if like one of my friends were dealing with depression and they couldn't come talk to me. And just to find out that they committed suicide and killed themselves. And I didn't pay attention to those signs and stuff. So like that's a big thing with me and my friendships, my relationships. I want them to be honest and just communicate and stuff.
And like you said, everybody got their own things they're dealing with. Everybody you walk past in their day-to-day life, somebody got their own story.
Facts.
So if you consider somebody your friend, the least you could do is provide that ear for them to be able to discuss something that's been bothering them. I had a friend who lost her life last year to suicide, and it's sad when you could see it on somebody, and even when they try and vent to you, it just doesn't help. But it's because if you don't have a proper support system, you're never gonna feel like you're supported. It don't matter if one or two pillars work. If the whole foundation isn't supported, then it's gonna crumble.
Exactly.
So being able to provide that ear, being able to provide some advice if they ask for it, is crucial for a friendship or any type of a bond or relationship, honestly.
Facts. And like I found most of my friendships over the years end up being like more of a competition. And it's like I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm like, yo, we're all boys and everything else too. Like you got your thing, I got my thing. I found like a lot of them end up being competing, and like I had to learn to be cautious about that because they're not a friendship. That's my competition in that state because in their head I'm competing. They're competing.
Yeah, it's sad because like that's coming out of insecurity, man. Like,
exactly.
If you going out and you hanging out, having a good time, ain't no reason for y'all to be competing.
Exactly. It's like some of my friends would like I have an idea, and I'm not wanting everybody to do my same idea. I understand that, but you go and do a similar thing that I was talking about, just a whole different business. So it's not like we're on the same team. That's like, bro, what sense does that make? If you're end up going to do the exact sort of the same thing I was doing, wouldn't you rather come up together and be as a unit versus trying to compete with each other? Because like, oh, we're going to go talk to the same people, and then you're going to be like, oh, I'm talking to them about my thing, but they got to choose between both of us versus us coming together as a group and a team. Like, I really had to learn like to decipher who I really get that label to as friends, because like I said, they're true intentions. You gotta feel that out over time, because what you see at first, you be so close to the situation that you don't see it, and then you lose sight of it, and then you just let little stuff slide over time. But you realize, bro, you never had that whole conversation like, hey, yo, this is my boundaries with my friendship. I expect this from my friends. I suspect this. I expect this. And like I realized I never had that conversation with the people I had called my friends. So like right nowadays, like when it comes down to me and my friendships, I'm like having this conversation like, hey bro, this is why I'm accepting as a friend as far as support wise, like loyalty wise, like all these traits, like bro, if you can't be loyal to me as a friend
and you want to go talk to other people about me versus and talking to people about stuff that should be closed door between me and you, I can't really have you around in my circle because the people you actually hang around actually determines how your future ends up.
Mm-hmm.
And that negative energy, I can't have that kind of toxic stuff around me most of the time. Now, especially after everything I've been through,
Yeah.
it's like
If you can't bring it up to me in person, then like, what is we friends for?
exactly. If something's bothering you, you shouldn't be. I'm saying as a friend, you can come talk to me about it. If something I did or said bother you, open the door to conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like
That's opportunity for growth.
exactly, cause a couple of my friends we had a whole conversation about like politics and everything. Like we don't agree everything on politics, but some of my friends end up getting mad because I told them I voted for Trump in 2016. It's like, oh, you really voted for Trump? I was like, bro, it was my decision who I wanted to vote for. So you telling me you're not gonna be my friend no more because I voted for Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Because they said, oh, bro, you got a Black Lives Matter clothing line. I was like, yeah, I do, but at the time of that election, there was a lot of. I looked at this. Trump said this back in the day when he was on Oprah. I'm gonna go up in the Republican and let them say what I tell them what they want to hear and get elected president. He actually did everything he said he was gonna do. I said I respect the man. They want to tell me straight up front what he's gonna do versus somebody that's gonna hide their hand and throw the rock.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I had friends with me. We had arguments about that. I was like, yeah, but it opened up a door. So he's like, understand, like, hey, yeah, this is my viewpoint about politics. This is my viewpoint about this. This is my viewpoint about this. Because, like, to be honest, I don't trust none of the politics anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, bro, that one vote, did it make that big of a difference?
Yeah, man. And like, we're going to get into the boundaries thing later because that's important in all types of relationships.
Fact.
But vibes and energy, it tell you everything, man.
Bro.
Like, when I first meet people, I'm cordial, you know, I'm respectful, but at the same time, I'm also kind of like watching to see not only how you acting, but like how I feel around how you
And be
acting.
cautious.
And you ain't even gotta be like on the weird shit, but like if I know I can't kick it with you, then that's just me, and I'm not gonna force myself to do it. Like it's just gonna make it even more awkward if I try and force that. So like you said with the whole like voting for Trump thing, like at the time I was in high school, you know, I was like a sophomore or something like that, and I thought Trump was a better option too, just because not even who he was, but more of who Hillary Clinton was, and
That part.
I never trusted them. Even Joe Biden and Kamala Harris now, you know, like they've given out empty promises and shit.
Exactly.
That's almost all politicians,
and
of
look,
course.
and
But
I hate it. I hate them for that. Cause look, they so-called said everything they were gonna do for the black community. They did everything else for everybody else, but yet the people that got them elected are yet to see anything done for them.
nope, of course not. Like, and even with the whole politics thing now, you know, I got the kind of friends where if I post something or I share an opinion and they don't agree, we have healthy dialogue and discussion about it.
Facts.
Like, you know, I'm not going to come over here and attack you for your opinion, but rather I'm going to be curious about it. Like, so why do you feel this way? You know, everybody got different life experiences.
Exactly.
And you ain't nothing but your experiences in the environment you grew up in. So sometimes you can't even fault people. Like, you know, these poor, you know, racist people. Sometimes it's less because of they want to be they want to be hateful, and it's more like they were never in the environment to learn better than that. Like they wasn't set up. So when you open that dialogue by being curious and asking them, you know, why do you feel this way? What makes you act like this? You know, it causes them to start thinking about it, and when they do that, that's when thinking changes. Or that's when they start saying, you know, maybe this isn't right, but I still feel like this, or they change their mindset completely. You know, again, nobody is perfect, and we all got learning and growing to do throughout our lives.
Facts.
So why judge and act like you better than the next person when you could just help them become better instead? You know, judgment is too much, especially in friendships. There ain't no need for that or no place for that.
Facts. I agree with that completely. Because, man, I grew up in the country. So majority of my friends were Caucasian when I was growing up in elementary school. And the funny thing about it, I look back on it, like, when you're a young child, we don't really pay attention to none of this stuff.
Nah.
You don't see nothing else but you just enjoy it. You have a purest mind and try to enjoy life.
Or even if you see it, you don't recognize that that's what you're seeing. It doesn't
Exactly.
register in your head until much later.
Exactly. And like, that's why it's hard. Like, I don't judge people by that, but I show by their actions. Because eventually they're gonna show you who they really are and like talk. Like, if they're not willing to have the conversation, cool. Wait till they're comfortable to have a conversation. Because if that friendship really mean that much importance to both of y'all, you can sit down and talk about anything. They may not agree with you, it may get heated eventually sometimes, but that's life, man. You're not gonna agree with everything that somebody do, but being able to come to somebody and have a disagreement and still respect each other, I think that's the biggest thing. Come down to the respect. The respect to say, all right, yeah, this is how he was raised. That's not his fault. But now what he do with it afterward, when he get the knowledge, that's his responsibility. Like, that's why I'm grateful for my mom bringing me up in like a more, it was diverse area. Well, mainly white area. I can't say no. It was mainly white, but like, even the music I listen to, man, I listen to country music. I listen to rock and roll every now and then, you know, the old school rock and roll. I'm talking about like Queens and Aerosmith ordeal. I'm not talking about like this. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Ear rape, man.
Ear rape. But like, even learning how to be diverse in the music that you listen to. Some people be literally stuck on one genre. And I know that if they open up their mind to so many different things, what it can, you know, bring to fruition for them, which is like major in my eyes.
See, and I like that music comparison because, like, me personally, I don't really go out looking for music in other genres, but that don't mean I'm not gonna be open to it.
Exactly.
Like, you know, somebody throw on some jazz or some rock and roll or some blues. You know, if it slap, it slap.
Exactly.
So that's why I turned on that little Spotify, that little Shazam. Like,
What's that song?
Exactly.
Because look, Young Thug, alright, to be honest, I'm gonna let y'all know my homeboy put me on Young Thug. If I don't give him a shout out, because look, I would probably never be a Thugger fan.
To be honest, did you know what the hell he was saying the first time you listened to him? Because I had no clue listening to live.
But look, I didn't know I was listening to Young Thug until afterwards. Because look, Stoner, I didn't know that was Young Thug. I thought that was somebody else completely different. Like, Stoner! I'm a stoner. That's the only thing I understood in that whole song. But like, when I started listening to Young Thug, yeah, I could not understand what he said half the time. But let me tell you how I finally can understand him. To be honest, I'm gonna let you know, yeah, I smoked weed. I was 420 positive, man. So look, I got high, and then I just listened to him, and it came in as clear as day. But the funny thing about it, if most people don't know, in like down South Florida, they play everything fast.
Oh, absolutely. Fast music now.
And power forward, let's run it. So look,
that's a classic.
Classic shit. DJ Chipman, all them boys down there, they doing the shit. But look, if you actually listen to Young Thug fast, you actually really understand exactly everything he says.
True.
So I was listening to it fast, but I also was high, so it slowed it down a little bit for me. So I was like, it just made it more clear. But Thugger is on a whole deeper level of ordeal shit. Just like Chance, back when he's an acid rapper. Most people don't understand. Like, when you say you're an acid rapper, like, bro, the way you want to understand him is you're on something. So, but like, man, friends, I feel like friends influence a lot of stuff on each other, and we don't know at the time, but our friends shaped us into who we are. Cause I'm not gonna lie, high school I was shy. I didn't know how to talk to girls. I literally picked up everything from my friends, cause that's around the time my granddad died, my freshman year of high school. So I was like, dang, how am I gonna figure out how to talk to her? You know, cause the main goal in high school was, I'm trying to get some draws. I'm not even gonna lie. Look, I was playing. What was I playing? I played football, played basketball, ran track.
Damn, nigga.
But
triple athlete?
Man, what? Hey, but to be honest, baseball was my favorite sport. I just stopped playing because something happened early on,
Mm-hmm.
like during my middle school years. But man, so I'm thinking like, man, bro, these females, they choosing. I said I ain't that bad looking. I probably start getting muscles on me, but like my friends actually played a big role in how I was perceived around. Because everybody thought that everybody was hooking up with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they thought we was hooking up with the whole city. And by me hanging out with them, guess what? I got the perception that I was a hoe. But to be really honest, I only had sex with one person in high school. The person I lost my virginity to.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I had a girlfriend in high school, I didn't have sex, sexual relation with her.
True.
But man, because matter of fact, if we want to, since I already brought it up, all right. Anything else you want to say about friends before I go to the next part?
Nah, you got it. But after that, I gotta play a little Young Thug,
Okay, yes sir. Hey, on God, because Thug, oh my God, that's
musical genius right here.
that's the GOAT.
Swear.
Young Thug, Jeffrey.
Hey, you hear that, man? I need some tickets. Next time you got a tour, let me know.
Hey, what? Get you on this podcast.
What?
They
Shit.
talk about some mental health and shit you're going through. But look, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the relationship portion because my relationships helped build me as well too,
Mm-hmm.
and they played a big role in how my confidence was perceived and everything as well as far as like how I look at stuff now. All right, who was your first girlfriend?
See, I ain't had my real first girlfriend until like this past year.
Oh, bet.
But
Lucky.
I was definitely talking to women. Like, it never went to actual relationship, but like we had them little long talking stages, like 3, 4, 5 months, and then it just fizzled out. Them situationships.
Situation. See, I think it was different because like I was a 90 baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, look, I had my first girlfriend in 3rd grade.
True.
She was older than me.
Shit, we having that shit.
And no, the only reason why I say this is my real girlfriend, Valentine's Day, we actually bought her like real stuff
Mm-hmm.
and delivered it to her and everything. But yeah, I was like,
Damn,
I had
you
a
was
real.
delivering Valentine's.
Well, I had
dedicated.
I had flowers. I think we went and got her a necklace. Yeah.
Like your grandmama necklace.
Nah, we spent some money on this necklace. Hey, and it came out of my savings too, so shit.
That's the classic. Snatch that bitch off the drum.
What?
Here you go.
I was like, shoot, man. To be honest, bro, I was always like a little playboy, little lover boy,
Mm-hmm.
little lover boy. But my first girlfriend, really, after I grew up and everything, I ain't gonna name. Should I name drop? I don't know.
Nah, let's not name drop.
All right, we ain't gonna name
We
drop.
can use different names though.
All right, but she had long dreads.
Damn.
She was a year older than me. I don't know what it was. I always dated girls that was older than me. She was older than me. This back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I don't know if it was because of me she started dating me because like I had recently gotten in a fight and the fight video went kind of viral. And like my shift in the social classes of high school has shifted because after you win a fight, they were like, oh snap, everybody so-called like you now, everybody know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So my social class has shifted, and then went to her birthday party. I gave her a lap dance. And she was like, oh, you doing stuff like this, you might as well be my boyfriend.
Shit, might as well then.
What? Her mama threw bees at me. And throw bees at me. I was like, well, shit. Look, that was like one of the best parties. Actually, that was like one of my first parties. I had to sneak out the house to go to this party. I snuck out. And literally, mom was tracking my phone back then because she even admitted it. So when my phone was on, she can locate where I'm at. So, I started turning the phone off every time I get somewhere. Man, this damn gnat. Look, there's a gnat in here, y'all. So if you see me doing all this extra shit, it's a gnat. Annoying as fuck, but look, this girl was like, I feel like she was the one that got away.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then, I was still insecure about who I was. She tried to, empower me and let me know, like, bro, I wasn't, how I put it, that I don't need to be insecure. Because everybody else is just putting their insecurities on me. And literally, they usually try to say, oh, she's talking to somebody else, he's talking to somebody else, so I can break up with her so that they can go out with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up listening to the guys that they was trying to tell me, oh, he was her, blah, 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 this and the third. That's why she answering your phone, blah, blah, blah.
Bro, society fuck you up too. Like, it just sets you up to be insecure. Because hearing shit like that growing up,
Exactly.
like, at first that don't trigger nothing in you, but then when you see people laughing or you feel like somebody being disrespected, that's when the insecurity set in.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's unfair to be possessive like that and have that mentality, but it just sucks because a lot of young dudes, man, like that's just instilled in them from middle school.
And it's fucked up. Because, in middle school, if I even go back to middle school, bro, I got bullied like I don't know what.
Hey, it built character though.
It did, but it also built more insecurities. Because like in middle school, for the first time getting bullied because of the shoes I was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't think of nothing back in the day. You know, Walmart shoes was shoes, bro. Tennis shoes was tennis shoes. Got to middle school, like, oh, bro, you wearing Bobos. So I started being cautious about everything I was wearing. I started being cautious about, like, literally everything I had on, because I was like, oh, if it's not this, I'm getting picked on.
Mm-hmm.
Because they probably saying, oh, I'm broke or poor or whatever. And, like, stuff you don't even need to think about at that time, because, look, think about it, you're a kid. You ain't got a job. You ain't supposed to be making millions of dollars. You can't determine that shit. And, like, who are they to tell you, oh, because you're not wearing a certain type of shoe, you're lame? To be honest, now I think about it, like, bro, they were the lame ones because they bragging and boasting, but that's their mama and daddy money they spent on that shit.
Absolutely.
So
Bro,
they still wasn't doing nothing.
Middle school ain't nothing but kids projecting their insecurities on each other.
Yeah.
And like you said, you could come in with none of that and, you know, be cool with being you, but after a little while being getting picked at like that, it starts getting to you, start chipping away at your self-esteem and everything. And eventually it make you want to get that pack mentality. You know, like I see these shoes, everybody got these, you know, at least I know I ain't gonna get bullied, I ain't gonna get made fun of, people gonna think I'm fly.
Exactly.
Whether it be that, clothes, hairstyles, even like sometimes the shit you eat.
Exactly. Because look, I think my first real name brand shoes was out of the K-Swiss. I'm not even talking K-Swiss. I think it was Reeboks, but we had Nikes, but look, it wasn't like the Nikes that everybody wear in school. Like these was Nikes I played in and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I started getting some Reeboks. So I was like, oh, y'all can mix up the colors and everything too. It wasn't that expensive, wasn't that cheap, but look, that's like, I used to make a little extra money because I was cutting my uncle's grass and everything on weekends. So I had my own little money. So I started buying my own little shoes, just like I started getting picked on. But the insecurities that they started back in middle school kind of came to light when I went to like high school and started dating, because they over here giggling and it's just sort of played back in my head. It's like, oh shoot, I'm getting like, damn, I feel like they made me feel small again.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up breaking up with the girl off of rumors. And the funny thing about it, I broke up with her like a couple weeks in front of prom, her senior prom.
Damn.
Yeah, I had and luckily I found a date, which actually had been like a girl that I was on and off with
Mm-hmm.
ever since that day. Cause look, and I ended up dating this girl too, but I feel like I was a buster for dating this girl that I took to that dance. Cause, bro, between the two of them, I feel like both of them my first loves. Like the girls that bro basically had my heart and everything. One I grew up with, and that's the one I ended up taking to the prom with me. And she wasn't trying to dance nothing. You know, talking to some other guy in the back, trying to leave with the dude and everything else. I'm at the beach making a fool of myself. It's like, bro, get in the car so I can take you home, blah, blah, blah. She over there in the car making out with somebody else. They end up dating the dude too. And a whole different little beef stuff happened. But you know what? I look back at it, I was like, bro, I was just immature and it really would hurt. Because I was like, bro, this is the other girl that I have feelings for. Cause like, I really had feelings for the, no, I'm not saying her name. The lady, I'm gonna say lady with dreads.
Mm-hmm.
I had real feelings for her. And then turned around and fucked them up. Then started dating this other girl just so she don't mean leave me at the prom. So basically it's like instant karma.
Yeah.
Ordeal.
Yeah, I should come back real quick, man.
What? But then I ended up dating the other girl like a year later.
Mm-hmm.
She She apologized, blah, blah, blah. I accepted it. Actually, the trauma that I had with her comes not even really from her. It's from her family, bro. Because me and her were engaged.
Damn.
Yeah. And she actually had got pregnant. She had a miscarriage, too. But the way her mom found out about the miscarriage was literally during the miscarriage. And found out that she was pregnant. So, she supposed to be at school. We at the hospital. Then, they tried to make a wedge between us so we couldn't even see each other. And then, over time, they sort of pulled us apart. And I'm not gonna lie, the dumbest thing I did was I told her she was acting like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And she took it as me calling her a bitch. And that's how really everything ended. But bro, I could not get out of bed for a whole week. Cause I felt like my heart got ripped out. And I was like, bro, I ain't trying to leave the room. I ain't trying to eat. I think I even started peeing in the bottle in my recording room.
Be like that.
It got
You're just not trying to get up, man.
Exactly. And those are the only two girls that actually made me feel like that. Because actually me and the lady with the dreads were actually trying to date again after I went to the military. Just to find out she ended up hooking up with her ex-boyfriend while I was kind of talking. But it wasn't official yet. But I came home for leave. We was hanging out talking, seemed like we were about to do something. And, bro, when I found out, I had, you just feel that vibe and everything that something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I could just tell. And then turn around, find out she was hooking up with the ex-boyfriend. Bro, and this is why I'm
That should do something to yourself.
Exactly, bro. I was like, bro, that turned me into this. I don't give a fuck about feelings because every time I put my feelings out there, they just get taken and thrown away. Even though everybody's human,
Mm-hmm.
everybody make mistakes. But man,
that shit hurts, and dog, those kind of relationships, as much pain as they cause, it also teach you lessons about self-love, man.
fact.
Cause as fucked up as it is, what people can do to you,
Yeah.
what people do is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. So if you feel like you're a piece of shit, you're gonna act like a piece of shit.
Right.
And you could feel bad about it, you could know that you made a mistake, but that ain't gonna stop you from doing it.
Right.
So, man, relationships teach you the biggest lessons and the biggest pains. Man, when I was in middle school, man, that was definitely my biggest player days, personally.
Oh, come on, let me know.
Man, 6th grade, I just came into the area, I'm brand new, I didn't really know nobody. Plus, I was a weird nigga.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We always weird.
Yeah, the nigga with the big glasses, man. But 7th grade year, man, I started dating this one girl who I'm still cool with to this day. And, me and her was off and on until I finished going to that middle school. But it was cool, We never really got off on super bad terms because we always reconnected. But I fucked her over a couple times, man. After our first breakup, man, I went and dated her best friend. And I was her. I think I was that girl's first boyfriend, first serious thing. So it kind of fucked her up having to choose between her friend and somebody else.
Ooh.
But at the same time, I shouldn't have never put her in that position to start with. That is fucked up.
Why do you think you did that?
Honestly, at the time, I don't even remember if that girl had done anything to me that made me feel like I needed to be an asshole or to get in that mentality. But at the same time, I also didn't care. The girl was cool, I was just trying to get a move on with my life, and I wasn't thinking about no consequences. I was only thinking of myself and being selfish. So when me and that girl broke up and I reconnected with the ex, it was I did some dirty shit, but you're still here. So how bad was it really? That's what I was thinking. And I ended up doing that shit again with a different best friend. But this one, this one we didn't really date. Like we just talked for a little bit, and she had more sense to be like, nah, you know, this
Right.
kind of fucked up.
Ah,
And even though they still fell out as friends, I still realized how fucked up it was. And also, like, the second time, this chick was like the ex of one of my close friends.
Damn.
And like,
It's like a little love group.
like yeah, like, and don't get me wrong, I said something to him. Like I asked him like, yo, is it cool? But
Yeah.
if that's your friend, and that's your ex, you're not trying to be like, especially in middle school, you're not trying to show that insecurity. He was just like, yeah, it's cool. But something on the inside told me that it was not that cool.
yeah, because actually something happened like that with me in high school. Because it was like the first round I dated that was younger.
Mhm.
She went to Washington High School. And I didn't know she dated. Like, me and the dude, we knew of each other. It was cool because we had mutual friends.
Mhm.
Then I realized he dated her and everything. So I still asked. But I knew it was weird for him. Because, like, same thing said, the insecurities. And to be honest, bro, like, my insecurities was reflected on that relationship as well, too. Because I used to drive my granddad's 91 Chevy Silverado single cab. It was rusted down. It was like the way I looked at things back when I was younger, especially when I was dating,
Mhm.
bro.
Just a bad mindset looking back.
Bro, not even just bad mindset. I looked at everything in a negative viewpoint. Cause like this girl lived like she went to Washington. I'm from the country. I'm like, bro, you deserve better than me. Like the houses she lived in, like yeah, I live out in the house in the country. It's paid off. I wasn't thinking that. I was like, bro, I live out here in the country in the boonies. I felt like I was too broke to be with her. And like looking at it from a viewpoint, bro. Like, yeah, I got this house out here, but I got all this yard. I got 10 acres out here in the country. I got a truck. Yeah, she got a new car, but guess what? My truck paid off. They still making payments. I ain't thinking of nothing like that. But bro, like me and her, bro. When I try to tell you, when I broke up with her, that was another worst decision I ever made. Well, like the 3 girls I dated in high school was potentially the people that I could have been married to if I would, like, bro, you understand, like, she's a doctor now, doing her thing in Texas.
She a doctor now.
Exactly.
Damn.
The other one, she was running track at Ole Miss, and she left that to go in the military,
Mhm.
and then she ended up getting married to like this other guy she was dating. But she said this one thing that I respected. When she came back to get married, she first told her aunt she's not gonna let her mom fuck up another relationship with somebody she loved. And I hope she was talking about me because I was the only person else I could think about. And then her auntie, the one told me, she's like, yeah. So I was like, yeah. But like this girl, man, she became an AKA. And I love me some AKAs. Goddamn. Look, she was an AKA.
That stroll do something for you.
What? But the funny thing about it, back in the day, I was talking about I was going to go to USA. And she was talking about she was going to FAMU. So I was like, girl, this ain't going to work out because I don't know how they're going to do with this distance and stuff. I didn't know how my life was going to look. Like, I was a guy that had no plans on what my future was looking like. And she had everything planned out. And I'm thinking, like, bro, how the hell do I keep somebody like that I felt like she was really too good for me?
Mhm.
I tell everybody and all her friends all the time, I was like, bro, ask her how she doing, because look, back then I really thought she was too good for me. And didn't know, like, bro, by me even trying to date her and everything, that I was good enough. It's just like I didn't see my own value that I was bringing to the relationship, and I was downplaying everything because how I looked at myself.
Mhm.
Like, especially this was after both those other breakups, so you feel like my insecurities was like intensified.
Especially when you've been on that side of the dude who fucking people over, like
Yeah.
it'll sit with you.
Yeah, and not even just that, because I was the one that got cheated on. And then I did fuck over the other girl, like the dreads. I fucked over Dread, got cheated on at prom, then turned around next year and started dating this girl. And then I really felt like I was a dick again because I ended just out of nowhere. I ain't had no real reason. And I didn't tell my mom the other girl was just crazy. That's always the excuse that most guys give when they want to break up. Like, bro, you just crazy. But no, there was nothing wrong with her. It was me. I just was, the way I looked at myself and perceived myself at that time was just, I was beneath her value. Yeah, bro, it sucks.
Yeah, bro. Self-worth. It really tests you in relationships.
Facts.
Because little things like that can make you start self-sabotaging. And you start acting in ways where you really are less than what they deserve. And you know, sometimes it's hard to toe that line, especially when, like, you know, some people use certain phrases as excuses rather than genuinely feeling like they're not worthy.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lack of self-worth and a lack of self-esteem and self-love in general just ruin a lot of relationships, man.
Yeah, and it really did ruin a lot of my relationships early on. But, man, bro. And like, I always used to put everybody's needs before mine.
Mm-hmm. Unhealthy, but you don't realize it at the time.
Exactly. I'd be like, bro, yeah, she needs somebody to give her more attention and more this, that, and that. Because half the time, I'm in the season. So, basketball season would be the main time I probably was dating somebody, especially her. And I was like, bro, we got these away games coming back. Can't talk to me like I want to. Can't take out on dates like I want to. I still got to manage the schoolwork to manage, like, basketball schedule. And that's actually, we actually won district. So, like, man, the level of focus I had for everything outside of school and basketball was nonchalant. Like, I realized, like, from the time I woke up, I went to practice, I went to school, I had after school practice, and after I got out of practice, I'm doing homework, I go to sleep, and I'm doing the same thing. Like, I had no personal life. We went to parties on the weekends every now and then, but, like, other than that, I didn't have no life to actually feel like I can give somebody that's dating me the time that they need in a relationship. And I think about the things now, I say, if I had that thought myself with relationships nowadays, bro, it's like I'm ass backwards, because how I was looking at like relationships back in the day to how relationships now, bro, they like piece of shit.
Time can teach that lesson, bro.
Yeah.
Dog, like I said earlier, you know, I wasn't having no relationships in high school, but I had a few situationships, right?
Oh yeah.
So like, I was a huge flirt. Like it was natural more than it was intentional. But, like,
Facts.
you know.
I understand you completely. Trust me. Hey, I understand you completely, my guy.
Like if I'm walking around, you know, I'm at lunch or something, and I'm talking like 5 different groups of friends, you know, I'm a flirt. You either gonna be cool with it, or we just gonna keep being friendly. And either way, that's cool with me.
Exactly.
So you know, sometimes, you know, these girls would catch feelings, understandably, and me, the psychological term is emotionally unavailable.
Yep.
But in my head, I was just like, you know, I know I don't want you. And like, I ain't even gonna sit here and lie about it. Like, man, there was this one girl, I remember, dog, we used to be like, not hooking up crazy, but like something light. And one day I looked at her straight in her face, I said, I'm not gonna date you. So like, I'm not trying to trick you, I'm not trying to lead you on, but like, I'm not gonna date you. So like, if you wanna make that decision to stop now, so be it. Like, I will understand. She continued. And that's where, like, looking back on it now, I can realize that it's kind of fucked up, because no matter, like, if people don't have enough self-love or enough, like, self-awareness, sometimes they just gonna put up with shit just because of their feelings and their emotions. Right. So I should have been the bigger person in situations like that to just walk away and not do that. Yeah. Now, I see that girl in the love relationship now, and like, I'm super happy for her. Like, love and light, all positivity, very happy for her. Damn. But at the time, I used to just be like, man, she annoying as hell. Like, I know I couldn't be in a relationship with her, so like, why even lie to myself? Yeah. But for those situationships, those were the rare times where I'd be like, you know what, I fuck with you enough to be with you. And these usually still start off as friendships, but they would, like, that emotional connection would get stronger to the point where I would feel I could be vulnerable with them. And once I can be vulnerable with you, that's like a whole another side of me.
Exactly.
So like Shorty, the first one I was in a situationship with, man, like everything was good and all, and then one day her mom found pictures of us. She hadn't told her mom about us because she was scared that she was gonna be like racist. And that's what I mean. I don't know if it was because I was black, but she told her like, yo, you keeping things from me. Like, nah, I don't really want you to do this no more. So that had to end. And I was hurt then a bit.
The ones that you don't end, that they end, that's the ones that sting.
What?
I'd be like,
Cause why you had to do that? Like, why you had to try me like that? But you know, at that time I was like, and you know, this is a pattern for me. Like, whenever I'm usually the one who get like broke off with,
yeah,
I would take that and I would internalize it as like I'm not good enough.
facts.
And I would like give that extra effort just because that was the mindset I was in. I was in like that lack mindset. You're like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. You know, like I was like, man, I could speak to your moms, this and that.
Yeah.
But you know, I had to learn that self-love. I hadn't at the time. Then the next situationship, this turned out to be like my best friend essentially. Like, it was cool for a minute, like just platonic, you know, no weird shit. Done seen her play hella people. she's bi, so it was like it was dudes and women just coming in and out, like getting played, and I'm sitting here just laughing. And then one day she was like, you know, I feel like I have feelings for you. So out of respect for her being my best friend, you know, like I tried. And you know, it was some real shit, but I feel like the insecurity in me, like knowing how she could be, that shit started to eat at me, and I allowed my insecurity to come out. Like, she would make like little jokes about these dudes flirting with her, and there's this one girl that I knew she hated and I was friends with, and I made something like similar, and that's when she was like, nah, you got me fucked up. Like, I was wilding, but at the time, like, that was just me talking out my ego and my pride, and like, you know, if I'm gonna go out, I ain't gonna go out like no hoe. You know what I mean? So
Facts. I always say, I don't get mad, I get even.
Yeah, facts. like if I, at the time, like I felt like if I had to walk away from the situation, you know, I was gonna get mine. You're not gonna do me like that.
Exactly.
But like, you know, we ended up reconnecting and shit, and I would say personally that was my first love, just cause like the platonic side as well of it, you know, it's just genuine love. Like, you know, I always wish the best for her. We don't speak, you know, sometimes she'll like send me shit from when we were still hanging out, but you know, I never wished nothing but the best for her, even if, you know, shit didn't go well between us. Always did. You know, she had at a point, she had come to a decision where she either had to move to Connecticut to be back home with her family, or like her mother's side, or stay in Florida with her dad and, you know, her stepmom and everything, and like that household was very toxic for her, and I knew that. So, and this is like soon after we reconnected.
Damn.
So, you know, I had to take a step back at the time, and I was like, you know, this environment is not the best for you. So, speaking from somebody who like really cares and loves you, I think you should go back to Connecticut. Like, even though I know shit ain't gonna work out, you know, I had to be the bigger person in that moment. I had to rise above my ego and be like, this is what's best for you. I'm not even gonna front. You know, if you did this, I think it'd be best for your mental health and your growth. And it was. Like, she in a loving relationship. Like, you know, she got her own thing going on. She was in college up there, but, you know, she was able to get her life back on track, essentially. And at the time, like, for a little bit after, I was a little resentful. But I had to let that go, because it's like, I can't blame nobody for wanting to do what's best for them.
Facts.
And the love that I had for her was more than just, you know, something possessive, like I need to keep you here with me.
Facts.
So being able to see her happy made me happy. And that overcame any of the negative feelings that I was having because we had to split it off.
See, I had a similar situation, but like this girl, like I can't say we was beginning stage of dating, and I'm not gonna lie, most of my stories end with somebody pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So she ended up getting pregnant, but her family was military and shit too, so they was about to move to Tampa. Found out she's pregnant.
Damn.
Yeah, she just got done. She been grieving for like a year or two because her ex-boyfriend committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So, ended up she got pregnant. She's about to move, and she wanted to meet up, and she was breaking down because she was like her modeling career just taking off. And she asked me, what do I want to do about that? I was like, bro, I really want her to, it was a kid, like, I had feelings for this girl. I was like, I want to keep the kid and do everything, but I knew how she was feeling. I was like, whatever you want to do, I'll support you.
Mm-hmm.
So she ended up getting an abortion. After the abortion, it was so much.
It hurts, but like you understand. So at that point, you just gotta deal with it yourself, and that sucks.
Exactly, and she got mad at me because I stopped talking to her in the way that we was talking.
Mm-hmm.
But I had so much pain and like anger towards the abortion I'm talking to, because like one, I paid for it, and I didn't want the abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had got to know the girl so much that I was thinking like, bro, just stay here. We can make this work, you know?
Yeah, when you invest that much into somebody, you're not just trying to let that shit go that easy.
Exactly, and like now there was a kid involved too. I was like, fuck it. If I had to go back in the military, I was gonna go back in the military just so I can make sure everything's taken care of. Like, if that needed to be what happened, I was gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I never got an opportunity to, and it stung at me because like now she's in a healthy relationship. She actually is pregnant. About to introduce a kid into this world. I can't lie, I get kind of jealous. Because like, yeah, she's introducing kids in the world with somebody else. But me knowing the truth, like, that's not her first kid. The first kid was really with me, and
Man, it's a lot of negative emotions to work through. Like,
exactly.
you needed to speak up for it, and I applaud you for it.
Yeah.
Because like, you know that it's her decision, right?
Exactly.
And even though you support her in that decision, you want what's best for her, it still hurts having to put your needs aside. And like that's really all relationships is about, is compromise. Sometimes that shit breaks you down.
Exactly. And not even just like, I really feel like most relationships, they come down to, with a male and female, it's more of we gotta take the women's sides on what they want to do versus what we want to do.
In general, or in terms of like, pregnancy?
Pregnancy, one, and generalized two, because it's real rare when a girl asks you like, hey, what you want to do? Like, think about this in a relationship, have a girl actually ask you like, all right, how are you doing today? Like, really, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, someone really ask you those questions like that. People don't think mean a lot, but it means so much. Someone asks you questions about, find out your interests, your hobbies, go out of the way to do something that you like to do, what you love to do. It's real rare that you find that nowadays. And, because I feel like most of the time it's the guy trying to get to know the girl, but in the midst of it, they're supposed to be trying to get to know us too. And it's real rare if they actually do and get to know us. Because one, it's hard for us to express ourselves because we don't want to seem weak.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn around, you don't want to overload them with everything you've been dealing with over your lifespan, because that can run away too. You don't want to. That's a lot of stuff that you be wanting to tell them, but you really never find the time to tell them.
and they never allow you a time and a place where you can be vulnerable with them. Because most of society, as in women, and some men, they down men for expressing themselves. But if you look at it, that's why men's suicide rates are higher than any other females. It's like 3 times what female suicide rate is.
They don't have that space to be able to express that pain and that hurt.
Exactly. And that's why I go to the gym. The best relationship I had so far now is with the gym. It's my girlfriend, it's my side piece, it's everything, because that's my place. I can go and kind of release some of my anger, and kind of collect my thoughts. You know, talk to myself while I'm in the gym. So, because like really, I'm still struggling with self-love stuff as well too. I may not show it on the outside because, you know, I put on this persona, this smile that everything's okay. But most of the time I'm like, yeah. The gym is my go-to person, other than my therapist. Remember, go get therapy. Therapy saves lives and helps a lot. But man, like I look back over these friendships and relationships, man. I realized a lot of my insecurities were being hidden by the people I chose to be around, friendships and relationships, because I felt like they filled in my gaps. But to be honest, man, they helped me grow in a way that I appreciate them for now. Because I found out more about myself by being in relationships with others. That means friendships and, you know, relationships with significant others. And it's crazy because like I just not realized while talking, I kept doing the same things with like my girlfriends over the past, even from the military to when I got out. I always felt like they was too good for me, and I wouldn't let them go past this wall, and then started acting funny and distant between them, and then next thing you know, I try to let them. I'll be like, let them go. If they come back, they come back. But technically, like they wanted me to fight for them, and I was too shy and too cowardly to do the fighting.
See, personally, it's always been the opposite for me. Like, I always struggle with my identity growing up, just because, you know, I'm the third with my name, right?
Yeah.
And my pops and his pops, they both did the same thing, kind of like my pops cheated on my mom and, you know, did all this, that, and the third.
Right.
You know, I got 2 sisters, all of us got different mothers. My grandpa did the same, you know, he wasn't really there for my father. So growing up, I was always scared of ending up like my father.
Yeah.
And that caused me to always like want to overgive or like always try to reconcile and do my best rather than feel like I'm giving up on the situation. And, you know, going through therapy, I realized that I did that because I felt like he gave up on me, or I felt like he didn't care enough to not act in a way that would make my mom have to walk away from him. And my most recent relationship kind of forced me to deal with all my insecurities and all my mental health issues. And what started as like, you know, a good feel-good relationship, you know, something that you could write a movie about or some shit like that.
Thanks.
That's when my insecurity started to seep in, and it wasn't her fault. You know, she wasn't doing anything to warrant that. But at the same time, you know, it's in your brain.
Right.
Like, I would try and express that, but it was hard for me to draw the line between being vulnerable and being insecure. So I would always I would bring something up thinking that, you know, it's just me expressing it. And in reality, it would, for her at least, it felt more like I was attacking her, I was accusing her of certain things. And when the relationship came to end, you know, I did the most. Like, I fought, I fought real hard. And like, honestly, I still let my emotions get the best of me. Also, like, combined with, you know, my past of doing all this and like knowing all this shit, and the things that happened to me, like in those relationships where I was broken up with, you know, one of our last arguments, like she would like tell me like what's the reason for why she's walking away, and I said something like, like that's not good enough for me, and in the moment that was me talking out of like my ego, and like it was more insecure as well, because I'm sitting here thinking that like it's some bullshit, like we in college, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here insecure, like, nah, she doing this, like she throwing away something good because she want to go fuck around, and she want to go do this, that, and the third. And the reason she gave for wanting to grow, we both had to grow. We both ended up in therapy towards the end of the relationship. But in my mind, because I was so emotionally distraught, it was like either she's bullshitting and she's just trying to like make it feel nice, or she's not recognizing her value to me. And I'm the kind of person, like, even though it's not healthy, like I'll allow my needs to not be met for a little bit if I feel like you're worthy of that. So what I said was like, like I'm cool with you having to work on this, that, and the third. Like I was always communicating. I wanted nothing but the best for her. I want her to be her best self, but she felt like she couldn't do that in the relationship at the time. And in the moment, I wish I had understood that better, so that I didn't act that way. But bygones be bygones. And it also taught me like self-love and self-worth, because as hard as it is to walk away from something that you invested so much into, and like you care about that person that much, you gotta love yourself more. So like, she felt she needed to walk away, whatever her reasons were, or whatever her actions after that were going to be, that had nothing to do with me. That's not a reflection of my worth or who I am or what I bring to the table. It's just a matter of what she decides to do in her actions. And going through therapy for like weeks about it, my therapist would always like ask me like, is it because you feel like these perceptions are true, or is it more because you feel like she abandoned you because of whatever reasons you feel about yourself? And I had to work through that to the point where I finally gained enough self-love for myself, like I'm a dope ass nigga, like in my own right, in my own respects. Like I know what I offer, both in friendship, romantic relationship, anything. So like, as much as I could love somebody, if they decide that they don't want that, that's not for them, I can't take that personally. I can't internalize that shit. Like I just gotta be able to get up and go.
Yeah.
And like, to this day, like I still got mad love for that girl, but I can't force nobody to do something. I can't force nobody to see something that they may not be able to see, or that they see and don't want to act on, And like you said, like that self-love journey is hard, because even when you feel like you've gotten to that point where you have it and you can recognize it, there are those days and those moments where like it slips.
It slips and go down.
Like, since we both go to the same college, I gotta see her around sometimes. And like that's
the hardest moment.
That's some of the hardest moments, because like it's not like I don't want it. It's not like I don't care still, but I just gotta keep walking. I gotta keep going. Like like I don't know, or like I don't see it, because that's what you gotta do.
And I know some of the moments, it's like,
it seems like when you see them, like everything stops around you.
Mm-hmm.
And it freezes, and I just hear my heartbeat like, and it's just non-stop, and it'd be like, it's uncontrollable, because you want to express so many emotions and feelings to them, but you already know that you can't, because they're both y'all at a different place in life at the moment. So you just gotta let go and just hope for the best. It's kind of the same thing with family and everything too, because family relationships add a lot of trauma onto you, because they have so many expectations for you, like from the jump. And once they inflict the like expectation of you, every time you don't meet the expectation, you feel like you're letting them down.
Mm-hmm.
And you put on more stress on yourself than anything.
You work even harder to meet those expectations you feel like have for you.
Exactly. And then you be thinking like you try to do something that it's not what they want you to do. You have a battle with yourself. Because you're battling basically what makes you happy versus what would make your parents happy, your family happy. And really, I look at it, most times, like I said, it comes back down to that self-love journey. Because your mom and your dad, grandparents, already, they're living their life. And the only person that can live their life for them is themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person that can live your life is yourself. And then, like, you got to understand it's your life. So you got to make the choices which are best for you. And it takes a lot of battles in your mind when it comes to that, especially because you think about it, you've been conditioned ever since you was younger to think a certain way, do a certain thing, and expect a certain thing from like because what everybody expects for you to do. If you do something out of the norm, you be thinking how they're going to react.
Mm-hmm.
Versus thinking about the main person that is going to affect the most, which is yourself. So I think like man, the afflictions that parents and weight they put on these kids, the stress alone, is enough to kill a fucking elephant in Africa. I swear to God, because think about it, you already got the pressures of school, relationships, and then you got the ones at home, the people that are supposed to be your support system, your foundation, and they always telling you what you're doing is not good enough. And in their eyes, anything, nothing that you do will be good enough until you actually make it and don't need them whatsoever. Whatever you're doing is not good enough. They all gonna tell you what you should be doing. I understand they live longer and have more earthly experiences.
But at the end of the day, it's your decisions.
Exactly, because a lot of them impress their fears on us because it didn't work out for them, and they don't want to see the same thing. They don't want to see us get hurt. But by crippling us and telling us not to pursue dreams is just as bad as damn.
I mean, shit, honestly, it's even worse than failing at those dreams, because at least failure builds character and then prepares you for the next venture you're going to go on.
Exactly.
Never going on it always leaves you with, like, that doubt of, man, if I did this, like, what would that have looked like? That should last a lifetime. And you could pass that on to your kids unintentionally.
Exactly, because I have so many regrets in my life. Being decisions that I made because other people, whether it be friendships, relationships, parent, family. Cause I remember I got a call back when I was in Little League to play all-star football, and I turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking at my face. I know she was tired running around because she worked great. She worked shift work. Same thing with my granddad. He worked 3 jobs. My grandma, she was working shift work. I was like, man, I'm putting more stress on them. And who knows, by me doing that one all-star to turn to another all-star, I looked at like a lot of potential that I had in a lot of different areas. I didn't reach them. I got to take the responsibility because it was my decision in the front, in the beginning and at the end. But if I would have made more selfish decisions back then, I look back and see where I could have been, and I'd be thinking like, damn, why not putting myself first? I know it took me like 29 years to realize, hey, it's okay to put yourself first. If it's something you want to do, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck what everybody else say. Just do it, because either you're going to be on the field or you're going to be watching. So I'd rather be in the game than watching the game, because the people that are in the game are the main people that are getting paid. I'd rather get paid than being a person that purchasing to spectate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready to get to this arena and just actually, do it. But it took me a long time to realize that.
And like, again, y'all gonna get therapy.
A lot of therapy.
Like going through therapy, it helped me realize how important self-love is. Like just to run it back to everything we talked about, like with friendships,
Yeah.
when you got enough self-love to recognize that something is not for you, you're not draining yourself and you're not putting yourself in situations that's just gonna make you frustrated.
Facts.
In relationships, when you got enough self-love for not just yourself, but the people around you and the people you care about, you recognize that their actions is nothing personal. And rather than like either running and not trying to do too much or doing too much, like in my case.
Don't worry, we all been there.
Okay, like hey, be like that.
I was literally in the parking lot screaming in front of everybody at the beach because this girl was driving around in the car with somebody else. Trust me.
See, if that shit happened to me, I can't lie. I would have got heated, but I would have been a little more low key with it.
I was about to hit the girl. I was embarrassed. Like really, I was embarrassed. But I'm chasing them around with my truck and look. Right then, I might have just ran them somebody over. Literally, that was the quietest ride home. Well, in my early years, cause I like quiet now.
But what you call it? But like self-love in relationships, you can have enough love for yourself to recognize that it's not a reflection of you, and also enough to give to where you don't have to be in that person's life to still love them and care about them and wish them the best. But people's choices is their own, so you just gotta keep walking on your path.
Right.
And with family, you gotta have enough self-love to be able to make choices and not worry about how your family is gonna feel about it or how that might reflect about you. Because real family, they're gonna support you regardless. Like I done fucked up a couple times, but at the end of the day, I always bounce back, and my family is there for me through it all. So self-love is the most important thing, and that's what's gonna carry you through life to the point where you feel content with everything. You can't be chasing happiness. You can't be doing too much with love. You gotta have that all in yourself and be able to bring it out at any time necessary.
I agree with everything. My reflection of everything. Basically everything you said, you hit it on the head. You really hit it out the park and everything.
Hey, bro, you telling therapy sessions working?
Hey, they working. Hey, I gotta go see my therapist on Thursday.
And on Friday, bro.
I feel you on that. But and I think by talking about it, it actually helps a lot too. But I look back on everything, like, be smart about who you surround yourself with is mainly the main topic in self-love, because not everybody's in your life for a long time. And some people are there just teach you a lesson for like that moment. There's seasonal people, then they got permanent people. Even sometimes it's family that's our seasonal people. There's some people that you come around when you need to learn something that God meant for you to learn at that moment. So be aware of who you surround yourself with. Pay attention, because sometimes you may be too close to the situation to see what the problem is. And sometimes it may be you having to take yourself out of that scenario to fix the problem and reflect on everything, because when you have a lot of people coming at you with their perspectives and stuff, it can be overwhelming. Take a moment to breathe, trust me. Find a quiet place you have to go and just think. And do yourself a favor, just meditate and find what makes you happy, and like I said, self-love, because nobody gonna love you like yourself, because the only person gonna have your back every day since the day you was born to the day you die and have your best intentions, it's gonna be you. But you gotta put your mind out of that way where you're allowing yourself to love yourself fully and understand yourself fully, where that doors open that no man can close. it's really a spiritual journey, y'all.
We're talking, self-love can even look like, being able to confront those negative sides of you that
Exactly.
exist. Because again, no, you can't blame people for being products of the environment. But at some point, you gotta become accountable for it. And going through therapy has helped me realize that, like, I can acknowledge those bad parts while also not allowing them to control my life and how it plays out.
Exactly.
And also have enough compassion to be like, you may be anxious, you may be depressed, you may be mentally ill, but like you still wake up every day and you try to be better, and that's what really matters. That's all you can ask for from people.
Exactly. Me and my therapist was just talking about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, man, compassion for yourself is also crucial, just as much as self-love.
Exactly, because allowance for the doubting and everything, the negatives, is very important because literally you're made out of both. You're negative and positive. It's just what side you're going to win that day.
Mm-hmm.
But if you acknowledge the negative and you take the power away from the negative, and you can turn that negative experience that traumatized you into power and positivity, because every negative experience taught you something.
Exactly.
And it taught you a positive lesson. So you gotta look out for that. Let's leave it off on that. Well, let's get up out of here, man. All right, y'all. But look, thank y'all for tuning in for this episode of From Voice to Men. Hope we was able to help a lot of people understand a lot of different situations that we went through and how some relationships are important. Just have these open the door to these conversations, y'all, because they're important. They need to be had. So stay blessed, stay up, meditate, get you some therapy, and see y'all in the next episode.
Peace out.
Peace out.